don't need no spoon. No,
You don't do spoon with pasta.
Forget it.
People in Italy don't use spoon.
Threw me right under the bus. I'm that guy. I'm that guy.
Why? Look. You take it. You put it to the side of the plate.
Look, he's teaching me how to roll up pasta.
In Italy, they don't use a spoon.
Are you serious?
All of you Americans from Jersey and Philly.
My whole life, I've been eating
You know why? Because you don't know how to twirl.
don't
You don't know how to twirl. You're scared how to twirl, cuz. Look at that.
Sipping vodka, eating shrimp and lobster pasta at Martarono's. Oh, you think you had enough, we'll give you more to handle. Light a candle for the ceremony, prepare thoroughly the samurai. Sharpen a sword, artfully torn, the heartbeats and pumps. Never did you see so much. Keep touch with the spots of South Philly. Richie and Steve got the drop on the block, really. Baby, it's Sunday, gravy the way they made me. The city embrace me, the grittiest place. See us with the prettiest babe, skinniest waist, with the biggest apple bottom trying to sit on your plate.
All right, Rich. South Philly spots, Martarono's Prime. We're about to talk to Steve Martorano, South Philly's own. Huge story, backstory to how it's gotten to this point where there's a steakhouse in his hometown of Philadelphia. It was a crazy journey for Steve, South Philly native, a street kid like me and you. So it's going to be a really fun time to talk to him.
There's no vision of what this brand is. All you see is my personality. I like movies, I like food, and I love music. So I put it all in one package so I could entertain myself. It was never to entertain anybody else. If I'm working, I want to hear good music. If I'm not busy, I want to watch a good movie. If I'm hungry, I want to eat good food. So, like I was telling you earlier, Dan Marino walked in with his wife. I like football. I didn't follow Miami, but he was a star. They're having dinner. He was like the only people in there. And I'm switching CDs of music, playing Harold Melvin, the Blue Notes, playing the Joneses, playing Blue Magic. She comes over, she says, "Excuse me, you have a tape? A tape?" She back then, a tape. "You have a tape of this music?" I says, "No, Mr. Marino, it's just me playing. I want something. Then they came back with friends and I was making the music a little louder. I was thinking this was this big. Now that you look around what we got. And then watching the movies, I started to shut off all the lights and play the scenes that I like. So people were eating, all of a sudden lights dimmed and the movie comes on. It's like, wow, this is different. Then Will Chamberlain came in and Tony Bennett came in, little by little, and this vision of a brand happened. Then about 5 years later, I knocked the wall down and I put a little better sound system and I knocked another wall down. And 31 years later, Oakland Park, you can't get in. No matter how hard you try. Saturday night, the celebrities from. If Jamie Foxx was in, I could hand him a microphone and he put a concert in for an hour. If Ludacris comes in and I'm playing, I give him the mic, he'll sing. Put a shit. You could be eating not knowing that's Ludacris for some reason. He just listen to his music and he's singing. Then Fat Joe, he put me in 2 of his videos. Our name, Cafe Martarono. He would put on a show. So everybody started to come in and just wanted to be part of the vibe. Till today, it's still probably the hottest restaurant in South Florida.
And up to that point, you were in food and beverage 20 years?
Yeah. No, I didn't have no food and beverage experience. I didn't go to school. I just remember my mother making a veal called the chicken color with broccoli rabe and putting provolone on it. So I could have been doing it wrong, but it worked. There was a passion. I'm 66. I still have that passion in my restaurants today. You'll never see me out here snoozing or sitting on the table or at the bar having a drink. I'm in that kitchen. No matter where I'm at. That's what. Look at me now, cuz. We had a look at my shoes.
I love it.
We had a ribbon cutting for the restaurant. Everybody's all dressed up, but this is me, right? You ever watch The Irishman, De Niro and Pesci?
It's got that vibe.
When the lights get low and when they walked into Villa d'Aroma, when I saw that, I said, this is what I want my next place to look like. Wow. And when the lights are dim, the tables are set.
Let's take a walk to the Mac. What I wanted to ask you about the celebrity, is there anybody in particular you cooked for where you were just like,
Joe Montana.
There's no fucking way.
Joe Montana. He flew me and 4 of my guys. He had a foundation, like the 5 Rings Foundation. He flew me to his house in Napa Valley. We stood at his house with his wife and kids. Till today, we're the best of friends. He comes every year. I'm in Montana's house making cheesesteaks. So like, are you kidding me?
There's a photo of a gentleman up here. Who's that?
That's my Uncle Ringo. They called him Long John. There's a million reasons why they call him Long John, but it was Long John Martarono.
And what street's this?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
I'm not sure. Pemberton Street, I think. But he was killed outside his house. And as strong as a man, this way, he was in prison for a long time. When he got shot, he drove him. He was going to a heart doctor. He actually drove himself 1 block away from the hospital. Drove himself to the hospital, bleeding half his arm off. And he hit a fire hydrant. They took him and he lasted 2 weeks after that. Very strong, powerful man. I love him like a father. We're in Florida. Somebody says Dave Portnoy is outside having dinner. I said, who's that? I said, pizza guy. He said, what do you mean pizza guy? He does reviews. I really didn't know him. I said, well, tell him not to do a review. She goes, we're not a pizza truck. We got it as an app, but I don't want people coming in here and spending $8 for a slice of pizza. That's not why I'm here. Now we'll tell him, yo, Steve, he's doing a review. Call the guy over there. He said, wait, whenever he's done with the review. So he does a review, and he comes in the kitchen, we shake hands. I said, I said, Steve, I don't like Sicilian pizza. This was really good. I gave you an 8.8. I looked at him like, 8.8? 10, give me 9.5. And I didn't know what that meant until after he left. Everybody's telling me that's a great score, 8.8.
You want to eat macaroni the way South Philly way. It needs a little bit of chew.
Chew, yes.
I love the way you make your pastas. Do you make arrangements? Like if someone comes in and says, "Oh, this is too hot," what do you say to that?
In my head was we ate macaroni Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. My mother made a pot of gravy on Sunday. You ate that Tuesday and Thursday.
Right.
But you had a different cut of macaroni. Change the flavor of your gravy.
In the freezer.
Right? Yeah.
Cool with it.
Cool with it.
We appreciate it.
Clam sauce or something?
That's the one you made on Kimball.
Clam sauce. Yeah, you
Spirit.
I had him drinking the juice out of there. That kind is great. On Sunday mornings, we didn't have an alarm clock, right? We just smelled those meatballs frying. That woke you up. You didn't have bacon and eggs. Well, maybe once in a while. Normally got up. My mother would have sliced bread. I'm Italian, right? My mother would have white sliced bread. There's nothing like soft bread. There's nothing like it. You take a fried meatball, you smash it, and you put a little gravy on it, the fried meatball, put the sliced bread. That was breakfast. Now, if I was lucky and I got up, my mother had Italian bread, I'd take the end. I take the end, dip it in the gravy, and dip it in the locatelli cheese, and then eat it. That was breakfast to Italian Americans like us, guys. Bacon and eggs now.
Poached egg and gravy.
Because eggs
I
and
never
burgers
seen
are-
that before.
I never
It was
grew-
on the internet.
I never
I
grew
seen it
up-
on TikTok.
My family didn't make it. I don't know, but if you go to Italy, that's what I try to tell people. I'm not from Italy. I'm from America, so I learned Italian. They had to use what they had. In Italy, they got the best of the best, but we didn't have that, so we were limited to what we could use. But eggs in purgatory is just tomato sauce. You crack the egg, a little red pepper. It's like New York and Philly. We didn't grow up with baked clams in Philly. That wasn't what we did. We didn't have rice balls in Philly.
I think mussels.
Yeah, mussels,
bread,
like
dip
crab
it in.
gravy, cause.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that we live so close so we can touch all that stuff. But South Philly cooking is different than anywhere else.
Are we the only ones that call it macaroni? Is that a
Because
South?
my mother would go like this.
Macaroni,
My mother,
say pasta.
no, my mother would say what? Go to the store and get a pound of macaroni. That's all she said. Now I went, if I saw rigatoni or fusilli or porcatelli, I would a pound of macaroni. It was all macaroni. Now, if my nonna, which I never called my grandmother nonna, I called her Graham, but the Italians called her nonna, they say pasta. Is it wrong, right? No, it's not wrong or right, but don't judge me. That's how my mother said. Go get a pound of macaroni. I went and
Is
got
that how
it.
it's worded on your menu?
Yeah,
Macaroni?
macaroni, yeah. Black olives, cucumbers, onions. We had iceberg lettuce. That's what you had. We had romaine. But what makes this salad, besides the salt and pepper, that's all that's in it. You gotta. My hands are clean. I wash them every 15 minutes. It's the ingredients. This is L'Idemio extra virgin olive oil, probably my top 3 from Italy. Rum Tuscany. Now, we didn't have this kind of oil, right? We had Bertolli growing up, and that was fine. But using the quality just brings it to another level. Now, you were talking about is Cotobon. We use this in all the restaurants. $90 between both bottles, maybe $100 if they had to buy it. And nobody's using this in their house. We're using this in a restaurant. So as you dress the salad, you just want to make sure your hands are clean, but you don't squeeze it. You just lightly toss it. And then you hit it with the red wine vinegar. With a little bit of cheese. Again, you can
With a new review.
toss, right? You can toss. My mother said your hands are like tools. Just keep them clean. But no matter how many times you make it, taste it. No matter how many times you make it, taste it. Remember we talked about the gravy has to touch the vinegar. And once it touches the vinegar, it brings it to another level. A little more grated cheese. And if you're like me, you like a long hot pepper.
Wow.
And if you're like me, you like a little arrabbiata. And that's that. Martarono salad. This ain't it. This is South Philly. You want to get a nice color on that garlic. You don't want to burn it till it gets bitter, but you want to get. So start with a cold pan, cold oil, and garlic. And you won't overcook it. But it's all about the garlic. You got to get the right color on the garlic. This is the Calabria oregano we're talking about. This goes into your curries. So remember these 2 things. Macaroni cannot wait for the sauce. The sauce could wait for the macaroni. You want to salt the water. You want it to taste like the ocean. Not everybody tastes the water. That takes about 14 minutes. The longer your macaroni takes to cook, the better quality the macaroni is. So something that cooks 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And capellini should never be on a menu except for soup.
How many times do you think you made this dish? Thousands.
It's all about the flavor. Yeah. I want to be, when I'm done eating a seafood dish, if it's red, I don't want to see no sauce on the bottom. It's not soup. I like to put herbs in the beginning and at the end. So if I'm making a marinara, I put the basil in the oil. Then when I toast the macaroni, I put more basil.
You burn in your mouth.
My grandmother would say, I made 40 meatballs, there's only 12 left. Who was in here? And you should have a bigger bowl. Guess what? The oil you start with is the oil I like to finish it with, right? This is our menu. What's that say right there? What's it say right there?
Don't break my balls.
Know what that means? Sit down, eat, let me do what I do. Where's the spoon? We ain't got no spoon. Here you go. They want to go like this, like it's an opera. They want to go like this. They want to pick it up 35 feet in the air. Then they want to twirl like they're in the mafia, which is no such thing. But you don't need it. Just need the side of the plate.
Even spread that Parmesan Reggiano was a payment. Say we got the butter bread, cheese, and the cake mix out the matrix. Makes sense how we made this.